Today we're going to unpackage the BBC Microbit. Inside here there's just three components. There's the microbit itself, and then there's a cable for connecting to the computer so you can download your programs to the microbit, and then a battery so that you can run it away from the computer as well. So we're going to take a closer look at the BBC Microbit. On the panel here we've got some lights that we can do various visual effects with. We've also got two buttons, A on the left here and B on the right, and then we've also got some pins where we can connect various things such as power, speakers, motors and so on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add this battery so it will power itself. So we have this little connector here, and this simply just slides in like so. We also want to connect it to the computer, so we can use this USB cable here. The smaller side plugs in to the microbit, and then the larger side plugs into your computer like so. And you can now see it's connected with a little orange light flickering away.
Okay, in this tutorial we're going to look at using the microbit. So what we want to do is go and open our browser. Now it doesn't matter if it's Internet Explorer or it's Chrome. And what I'm going to do is go to a website called touchdevelop.com. There we go. So I'm going to scroll down. There's other things you can do in Touch Develop which you can look at another time. I'm going to scroll right down the page until I get to Touch Develop and the BBC Microbit. And what I want to do is open up the Make Code editor. So just click on this. It should take a wee minute to create a new project. And if we look at the screen, on the left hand side here you'll see that we've got a wee emulator of the microbit. And we can use that to practice our code on. Down the middle we've got common functions that we can use. On this screen here, this is where we're going to put our code in, and you'll see that there's a wee message that just asks you to agree with the use of cookies, and that's fine, so clicking across there. And what we've also got down here is a download button, and we can name our projects here, so we'll look at that later on. So the first thing I want to do is we're just going to put in a wee program that outputs your name. So you'll see here that we've got on start. I'm just going to drag that down here, and I can put things in on start. Now if you've used Scratch before you might be familiar with this, but what I'm going to do is click on basic. You'll see you get some options coming up, and it says show string hello. So I'm just going to drag that on here, and then I can click that in place. Now if I look at this, you'll see in the left hand side of the screen it runs it, because when the microbit starts it just displays hello. So I can change that, and I'm just going to change that to say Michael. Press enter, and you'll see now it outputs the name Michael. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to connect our microbit to the machine. So you can use the USB cable and plug the microbit in. And what you should see is when you've plugged the microbit into the machine, you should see it's available here, and it says microbit D. Now what we can do here is we can give the project a name, and we'll just call it Michael, and then I can click on download. And then click on done. And down here you said, do you want to open or save? I want to save it, and then I want to view the download. Okay, now you'll see it's sitting there. So what I can do is minimize my window and drag the program, oops, go into downloads and drag the program microbit michael.hex onto the microbit. And what you should see is that the microbit flashes yellow when the program's downloading onto it. And with it still connected, once it's running, you should see that it outputs your name on the screen. Now what I want you to do is have a wee practice with that and try putting in different names. Also, something you could do is you could put in another string. So click on basic and click on show string and put that underneath and just put in microbit. Now what you'll notice is that on the left hand side of the screen it now displays Michael microbit. But if you wanted to output it onto your actual microbit, you'd have to save the project again. So I'll just call it Michael2, save it, and you can open the folder that it's in, and there it is there. And exactly the same way, drag it onto the microbit, like so. And again, the microbit will flash yellow. So every time you make a change to a project, you want to drag it, and you want to see it on the actual microbit itself, drag it on, and that should run automatically. Now, if we want to make a wee change to this, what we can do is control it with the button. So I'm going to use the forever loop here, and what I'm going to do is go into input, and on A button pressed, drag that on. If I don't need to use forever, just drag that on. And what I'll do is put in show string Michael. Now I'll drag that out of there, and what I can do is get the B button pressed as well, so I can click on this, right click and duplicate it. And rather than saying show string Michael, take that out of there and put in show string microbit and change that to a B. And now if I click on A, it says Michael. And if I click on B, it says microbit. There we go. Click on A again, it says Michael, and that'll just run alongside, and then I can click on stop. And again, try it out. And that's microbit there. So you can muck about with that. Also, what you could do is you can put them under each other. I'll take right click on that and delete that, and right click on that and delete that. And you can put a timer in. So I could go to let me see, basic, and get it to pause. I'll get it to pause for 1000 milliseconds, which should come out in a second. So click on A, and it outputs Michael. And it should wait, and then it outputs microbit. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, I'm just going to right click on these and delete the blocks. In fact, I'll just take all that out. And that leaves us with on start and on forever again. Now, in this case, what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to put out a smiley face. And again, this should be quite basic. So if I go to my basic, and you see you got show icon there. Now, if I click that one, I can put it in, and that will show a love heart. And it just appears. Now that's forever, so that will always happen. What I could do is take that one out. In fact, if you click on the wee downward arrow, and you can choose different pre-programmed icons. So what I could do is put in a tick and drag that back in there. And you should see that the tick appears on here. There we go. And you can experiment with the different icons. It tells you what they are. So a pair of scissors, a chessboard, music note. You can put that in there. Now, in here, what I can also do, just take that out, is I can go in here and show LEDs. And on start, I could draw a picture. So if I want to put a smiley face in, I could just colour the boxes in. Now, if I make a mistake like that, I can just click on it again and go back. And there you go, there's your smiley face. And it should update if I go in there, and there's a smiley face sitting there. So you can draw your own pictures as well with it. So try that. And again, then you can download it onto Microbit if you've got one. Okay, in this recording what we're going to do is we're going to look at doing a wee sequence. So I want to get a red line moving across the screen. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to basic and put in show LEDs and stick that in there. And I'm just going to colour the first box in. Now what I can do is just duplicate that. And then the next, drag it underneath, and the next one I'm going to put in 2. And duplicate it again, and in the next one I'll put in 3. Now I just wanted it to be 3 bars moving across, so the next one, what I'm going to do, drag it in place and make it 3 and then take out the first one. And that's going to give the illusion of it moving along. This one, I duplicate it again and put on here, colour in the last 3, keep on going, and now move it down to 2, as if it's moving off the screen to the left hand side. Duplicate it again, down to 0, down to 1, and then finally make it blank and put it back in there. Now across here you should see when it runs it looks like it's moving across the screen. So it does that once. Now what I can do here is I can look at loops, and I can use this loop and say repeat 4 times and stick that in there. Now I want to get all of these in, so I can just drag them in one by one, and it should pop in there. There we go. And now on the start, oh, I made a wee mistake there, take that one out. It should just repeat the loop 4 times. There we go, that's it stopped. So you can change this number in here to repeat it any number of times you want. Try that with some different animations and see what results you get. Okay, in this example we're going to use a button, and we're going to use a loop. And this time we're going to get the device to count from 0 up to 10. So the first thing I want to do is on start, I'm just going to move that up there, and I'm going to go to variables. Now a variable is just something that can change. So I'm going to drag out, sorry, I'll try that again. I'm going to go to set item to 0. Now on here, I don't want to call it item, I want to call it number. So I'm going to click on the word item and then click on rename variable and just go in here and change that to number. And click on OK. The next thing I want to do is I want to put an input in. So when on a button press, I want to take that and stick that in here. Oops, sorry, I'll take that out. And on a button pressed, I want this to happen 10 times, sorry. So I'm going to get a loop and repeat and drag that in there. If I want something to happen 10 times, I need to change this number to 10. And whatever I put in this bit here will happen 10 times. So I'm going to go into variable, and I want to change the number by 1. So I'm going to go and click on that and bring that in. So change item, I need to change that and click on number. And then what I want to do is output it. So I'm going to go to basic, and you'll see here I've got show number 0. Now if I put that in there, I want to, rather than show number 0, I want to show number. That's the name of a variable. So I'm going to go back to variables, get number, and drag it and stick it in there. And now if I click on the A button, click the A button, 1, 2, 3, and all the way up. And you'll see 10, because it's 2 digits, needs to go onto another screen. Okay. And that's how you get the machine to count from 0 up to 10. Now, I want to change this around slightly, and I want to get it to count down the way. So the first thing I want to do is change the number at the very start of the program to 10. So I'll just click on that and type in 10. And repeat 10 times when the button A is pressed. Now, rather than changing number by 1, I want to change the number by -1. See if it lets me do that. So again, I'll go back over to my machine, click on A, and it goes 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So because we started up higher and used the minus, we can go back down the way.